Hello, dear little readers. Welcome to the magical world of Sapphire Pond, where the sun dances on the water and the stars twinkle like tiny dreams in the sky. Today, we're going to meet a very special friend, Tami, a tiny turtle with a big, brave heart. While other turtles were happy swimming and basking in the sun, Tami dreamed of something extraordinary. She wanted to fly. Join Tami as she crawls through grassy paths, meets wise friends, and learns that sometimes the greatest adventures happen when you follow your heart. So snuggle up, open your imagination wide, and let's discover what happens when a little turtle dares to dream big.
Jungle Story Time.
In the peaceful waters of Sapphire Pond lived a little turtle named Tami. She was the smallest turtle in her family, with a shiny green shell and curious eyes that sparkled like morning dew. Every day, Tami loved to watch the birds flying high above the pond, the eagles gliding proudly, the sparrows twirling in playful circles, and the herons soaring gracefully across the sunset. "Oh, how wonderful it must be to fly," she sighed one evening, gazing at the sky. "If only I had wings." That night, under the soft glow of the moon, Tami lay on her back by the pond, staring at the stars. Her shell shimmered in the moonlight as she whispered, "I wish I could fly, even just once." The stars twinkled brighter, as if listening to her tiny dream. Early the next morning, Tami spotted a tall oak tree near the edge of the forest. High on a branch sat Olara the owl, with golden eyes that shone like the sunrise. "Good morning, little turtle," hooted Olara. "What brings you so far from the water?" "I want to fly like the birds," said Tami shyly. "But I don't know how." Olara tilted her head kindly. "Ah, a brave dreamer. Flying takes courage, but sometimes help comes from unexpected friends. Follow your heart to Windy Hill, and you may find what you seek. Dreams don't grow unless you move toward them." Tami's eyes sparkled. "Thank you, Olara." Tami waved goodbye to Olara. The next morning, Tami decided she wouldn't just wish anymore, she would try. She remembered what her wise friend, Olara the owl, once said, "Dreams don't grow unless you move toward them." So Tami began her journey. For Tami, the journey was not easy. She crawled over pebbles, through tall grass, and across muddy patches that nearly swallowed her tiny legs. But she didn't stop. Her heart was full of determination, and every step brought her closer to the faraway hill that shimmered beneath the sunlight. She believed that somehow, some way, she would find a way to touch the sky. At last, she reached the top of Windy Hill, where she found a friendly squirrel named Safi, busily gathering nuts. "Hello there," Tami called out. "Are you the one who can help me fly?" Safi tilted her head in surprise. "Fly? You're a turtle." "I know," said Tami, smiling shyly. "But Olara the owl said you might help." Safi thought for a moment. I do love building things. Maybe I can make you some wings." With excitement, Safi dashed into her tree hole and came out with big green leaves, some twigs, and a few threads of spider silk. Together, they worked all afternoon, Tami holding the leaves while Safi tied and glued them into place. Finally, Safi stepped back proudly. There, one pair of turtle wings, ready to test. Tami flapped them gently. They rustled like paper, but she felt so proud she could burst. "Okay," said Safi. "Now climb to the edge and jump when I count to 3. Tami's heart raced. She looked down the hill, it seemed very far. 1, 2, 3. Tami closed her eyes and jumped. For a moment, she felt the wind lift her. Her shell grew lighter. She was floating. "I'm flying," she squeaked in delight, before tumbling softly into a bush of fluffy dandelions. Safi rushed over. "Are you okay?" Tami laughed between giggles. "That was amazing. I almost flew." Over the next few days, Tami kept trying. She tried bigger leaves, longer strings, even a paper kite that Safi made. But every time, she would glide for a moment and then land safely in the grass. Still, she never gave up. One evening, after a long day of trying, she sat quietly by the pond, watching the sunset. The sky glowed in shades of pink and gold. Olara the owl flew down beside her golden eyes warm and kind. "You've been busy, little one," said Olara softly. "I tried everything," Tami sighed. "I wanted to fly like the birds, but I guess I never will." Olara smiled gently. "Oh, Tami, look around you." The water shimmered like liquid gold. Fireflies danced above the reeds, and the soft wind rippled through the pond, making tiny waves that sparkled in the fading light. "Do you see how the pond moves when you swim?" said Olara. "You may not fly in the sky, but when you glide through the water, you make it come alive. Every creature has its own kind of flight." Tami's eyes widened. She looked at her reflection, where ripples spread outward from her shell, shaping into wings of golden light. I do fly," she whispered. "Just in a different way." Olara nodded. "Exactly. You soar through the water as gracefully as the birds through the air." And so, under the golden morning sun of Sapphire Pond, Tami glided gracefully through the shimmering water, her ripples sparkling like wings. She never flew through the air like the birds, but she discovered something even more wonderful, her own kind of flight. Tami learned that dreams can take many shapes, and that every creature shines in their own special way. Whenever you look at the rippling water or the glowing stars above, remember Tami's story and know that your dreams can come true, too, in your own beautiful way. The end. Moral of the story: everyone has their own kind of gift. You don't have to be like others to be special, you just need to discover what makes you shine.